What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here with a brand new segment for you guys. We're going to try and do this after every game, but it's the 5 takeaways, well, the 5 things that we can take away from the game. Obviously, it was a disastrous ending, but it wasn't all disastrous in the game, let's be honest. Obviously, we went 3-0 up within 15 minutes, and then West Ham got 3 goals after the 82nd minute, which is more or less unforgivable, to be honest, from the team. But let's get into it. Let's look at the 5 things we've taken away from the game. And the first thing we're taking away from the game is the perfect Harry Kane role. What are your thoughts regarding that?
So yeah, this topic, Harry Kane displaying yet again what a perfect striker he is, and the role that Jose Mourinho is giving him and how well suited to it. Not only is he providing assists like he did for the first goal, but he's actually getting so many shots away in and around the penalty area. Obviously, he got a second goal just outside the box. He got a striker's finish for the third goal with a header. He had more shots than anyone else on the pitch, with 6 shots altogether. But he only had 2 touches in the penalty area, one of them being a goal. So that's something he has to work on. But him picking up the ball in between the lines, in between the central midfielders and the defenders, is making him extremely difficult for the opposition to pick him up. So they're not sure whether he's the midfielder's responsibility or if he's the defender's responsibility, and that's why he's getting so much space in between those areas, and he's getting so many shots off in those areas, and he's causing havoc. And whether he's playing a through ball, taking a long shot, or getting in the box to head home a cross like he would do with the third goal, teams don't know how to deal with him.
Yeah, and we've seen it time and time again this season, how he's becoming kind of pretty much unplayable in games. I think maybe it's going to take a few more games for the rest of the Premier League to see what's going on here and kind of react to it. But at the moment, Premier League teams don't seem to be reacting to the way Kane is dropping deep and Son's going in behind.
And even for the second goal, even when a midfielder like Rice does decide to take responsibility and drop back, he could even be beaten, and then all of a sudden he gets nutmegged and it's in the back of the net. So this role for Harry Kane, it's not only down to Mourinho, it's also down to his own intelligence and how we're knowing where to be, where exactly to find the pockets of space, and his creative role is not taking away from his threat going forward. So this role for Harry Kane is absolutely perfect at the moment,
and it says it all with top assists in the league with 7, well on point or well on the mark to kind of beat Thierry Henry's record of 20 in a season. 2 behind the lead scorer in the league in Heung-min Son and Dominic Calvert-Lewin with 5 goals. And also just this general play and the best version of Harry Kane we've probably ever seen. So yeah, that is number 1, the perfect Harry Kane role. Number 2 is the growth of Tanguy Ndombele. What can you tell me about that?
So Ndombele really is growing into his role in central midfield in the Premier League. Everyone marvels about his on the ball skills, his ability to evade midfielders, his ability to dribble past oncoming tackles and things like that. But what is going under the radar is how effective he's becoming off the ball as well. 100%. In terms of recoveries, he made 8 recoveries in the game yesterday, which is more than any other midfielder on the pitch. And in terms of duels, he won 6 of his 9 duels, which is more than Declan Rice. And Declan Rice obviously is seen as one of the best defensive midfielders in the league, or especially, he's been wanted by a lot of the top clubs in the league. So he's known as quite a solid defensive midfielder, and Ndombele actually won more duels than him. So he really is growing into that physical role midfield, as well as complementing his on-the-ball skills that we all know he has.
No, I 100% agree with that. I think cast your mind back to kind of last season where no one believed in Tanguy Ndombele. Everyone knew the kind of attributes he had and how good he can be in terms of technical ability. But I don't think anyone thought that this early on in the season he could have such an impact. Everyone thought maybe it would take time to grow into the role. Obviously, he didn't see eye to eye with Jose Mourinho, but all that's been put aside now, and you can really see the Tanguy Ndombele, which we all expected when we first signed him last summer for 65 million. So yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. So that's number 2, the growth of Tanguy Ndombele. Now the third takeaway from this game is regarding our new signing, Gareth Bale. We all know that he missed that gilt-edged chance right at the end to go 4-0 or 4-1 up?
It would have been 4-2 at the time.
4-2 up. But the third takeaway is the glimpses of Gareth Bale.
So even though there's no doubt about it, Gareth Bale wasn't at his best, there was glimpses of how the team would function with Gareth Bale in the side. When that moment where Harry Kane hits the post in the second half, you see Gareth Bale dragging 3 defenders away from Harry Kane, which leaves him space to get the shot off. And obviously Son was the one who played the pass. It showed there was link connection even in those 20 minutes that we played. And obviously for his chance, Gareth Bale was played through on the counter-attack, and he was actually 4-on-1. There were 4 West Ham defenders around Gareth Bale, and he managed to wriggle away, get the shot off. And actually on second look, if you look at it, I'm unsure if he was fouled from Yarmolenko in that moment, because Yarmolenko pushes him over, gets him off balance while he's getting the shot off, and I'm not sure whether that makes him yank the shot or not. He didn't really appeal for a foul, so maybe we're reading too much into it, but obviously that moment was a little glimpse. Even in those 15 minutes where there's no doubt about it, he's not looking at his sharpest, he still showed glimpses of what he can do. And if he's doing that kind of stuff when he's not at his best, imagine when he gets back to full fitness.
No, I completely agree with that. I think that Gareth Bale, albeit he didn't have a good game, and you could see that by the 5 in the player ratings that we gave him. But like you say, the glimpses were 100% there. You could see his off-the-ball running as well. You could see he still have some pace about him, some speed about him, the trickery to wiggle away from those 4 players like you mentioned. I mean, if he finishes that chance, you're talking about a completely different rating, a completely different outcome of the game as well.
And if you slow it down, I slowed it down very precisely. The moment Bale takes a shot and he's pushed, it kind of makes his foot go to the different side of the ball. So I'm wondering if he was aiming for the other corner and he just yanked it because he was pushed or not. I'm not sure about it, but that's it.
Yeah, that remains to be seen. But that is number 3, and that is the glimpses of Gareth Bale. Now, number 4, we're going to be talking about the warning signs that appeared during the game. And Sim, what can you tell me about those warning signs?
It was especially in the second half. The warning signs were definitely... First of all, actually, there was a couple of warning signs in the first half from set pieces.
Just decline it.
I'll just start again. The warning signs were definitely there. There was one warning sign in the first half from a set piece where Antonio missed a gilt-edged chance, which was quite difficult. But if you look at the XG was a big difference going into half time. Tottenham were way ahead in terms of expected goals. And once the second half started, West Ham were slowly creeping up on our expected goals and slowly getting back in the game. It all started when Antonio had that deflected shot, which Fornals headed over at the back post, Reguilon losing his man. Souček had a header within the 6-yard box, which Sanchez did really well to block just before about 20 minutes before the end. It was around about half an hour before the end. Souček has a chance, and then all of a sudden West Ham have a couple of warning signs to show they're not out of this game, even though Tottenham did have chances in Kane and Bale to kill the game off, and Kane actually had another chance which Son played him through, but he took too long to get the shot and it was blocked. And apart from that, even though Spurs did have chances to kill the game, West Ham showed in that second half they were still in the game despite the fact they were 3-0 down. And when they did get one goal back, it should have probably sent more alarm bells ringing than it did. Because I think even at 3-1, with 8 minutes to go, we were probably thinking they got a consolation. We weren't thinking...
Actually, if you look at the watch-along highlights, it seemed like there was a resigned... element in our faces that we expected this comeback.
I don't think we expect. I think,
or that it could come.
I think me personally, I think that at 3-1, I wasn't that worried. I thought it was just a consolation. At 3-2, I got extremely worried. At 3-1, it was more of a consolation, but maybe more alarm bells should have started ringing, judging from the fact West Ham did creep back into the game.
That's what I was saying. I thought they kept growing into the game in that second half, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is our 4th takeaway from the game, the warning signs that did start to appear in that second half. Now, the 5th and final takeaway that we've got from this game is a kind of theme that's creeping up on us this season, where it's the set-piece nightmare, the defending from set-piece nightmare, and it keeps continuing. And it's, like I said, a common theme that's creeping into our games this season.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what is going on. There are so many set-pieces I can point to from yesterday's game where we looked all over the place. And there's no surprise that we conceded from at least one of them. You could argue, Lanzini's one also came from a set-piece. Antonio has a chance in the 6-yard box in the first half, which he puts wide. From the first goal, needless set-piece given away. Sissoko fouls Lanzini, who's going absolutely nowhere, no danger. Sissoko just pushes him for no reason. We give away a free kick. Go to the free kick. Højbjerg and Aurier are marking Højbjerg and Sanchez are marking each other. There's a Souček is completely free at the back post. Sissoko, the ball comes to Sissoko, who's challenging Balbuena. He doesn't even jump. Balbuena gets well up above him, and it ends up in a goal. Absolutely atrocious defending from the set piece.
We were all laughing at Man United when Harry Maguire and another Man United player were taking each other out against us, and now we were doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know why two Tottenham players are marking each other a set piece. You go to the one that we conceded the third goal as well. Thomas Souček is absolutely free. We're just lucky Harry Kane. It was just a bit in front of him, and Harry Kane can clear it. Obviously, Harry Winks doesn't clear his lines either, and obviously falls to Lanzini and gets to a goal. But why is Souček, who's their biggest threat in the whole team, free from two free kicks? Two free kicks in the last minute. One they get a goal from, one they gets cleared, but they still get a goal from. He's absolutely free, and he could have absolutely buried it. And as I said as well, Antonio had a chance in the first half as well from a set piece. So this is something that really has to be looked at from Jose Mourinho. He has to sort out our defending from set pieces, because the organisation isn't good enough. And I would say our organisation in open play is a lot better, and it is, because we don't look like conceding as much from set pieces. It's a serious problem, and I don't know how it ends up in a situation where their best header of the ball was free on two occasions, but that was it, and that has to be a serious alarm bell.
At the end of the day, we've conceded however many goals, eight goals this season. One of them has been completely from out of play.
Open play, yeah.
Open play, you know what I mean, from the whole thing. So this should have sent alarm bells to Jose Mourinho a few games ago, never mind now. I mean, but now it's like a dying matter where we really, really need to sort this out, because it's creeping up on us every single game now. So yeah, those are the 5 takeaways we have taken from the West Ham game. Let me know in the comment section below what your 5 takeaways are, and if you agree with ours, let me know in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.